coached by Mark Western. Last year, the Stallions, this is not correct, we know for sure because we're missing a game, but we have 7-13 last year, 5-5 in the KCAL. So we'll welcome the Lady Stallions and Coach Western.
Well, first off, thank you very much for having us. What you guys do for these young ladies and young men is obviously awesome for the exposure you guys give them. We do appreciate it. Today I brought with me to my right Kiera Brown, who as a freshman was Defensive Player of the Year in the conference or in the league. Nisha Owens, who's a junior. This is her first year at Schlagle. She is my shooting guard. We're actually filled with a bunch of guards, so she's one of a few. We kicked off our season Thursday. Disappointing outcome. We lost by 3 to Barstow. We had an opportunity to go watch Barstow on Tuesday, and we knew they were pretty fundamentally sound. Nice point guard, pretty skilled freshman post player, and you can look at a lot of things with that game, but the number that I probably look at the most, we gave up 22 points in the third quarter. Anytime you're giving up 20 points in a quarter, you're going to have trouble winning. There were some positives. As frustrated as it was to lose a game you hope to win, we did play with a pretty good deal of energy for 3 quarters. Disappointing spurt in the third quarter that ultimately hurt us, but the energy level, I thought we matched or exceeded our opponents. So from that standpoint, there's some things you can build on. I'm excited as a first-year coach in this league just to kind of get to know what teams are around. I know Sumner, who's here, is obviously the top dog in the league right now, and we're just trying to build something solid on our end and see where we can end up at the end of the season.
All right, well, Coach, welcome to the area. And we like to always start off with our newer coaches. Maybe give us a little background on yourself.
Sure.
Where'd you come from and kind of coaching tree
Sure.
and things like that.
Started in 2005 out in Colorado. Was very fortunate to coach under a very knowledgeable guy out there, Jeff Neal, who's a college coach now. But we were lucky. He had a good run at Thunder Ridge High School that produced 7 or 8 Division I players. He moved on to Summit High School, where I started coaching with him, and then to Golden High School, where we had a nice little run out there, made a state championship game and a Final Four in consecutive years. Learned a lot from him. A lot of my philosophies come from a up-tempo system that we tried to build out there. In a 2-year window, we went 55-7. Had the 2-time Colorado Player of the Year, and kind of where I pattern my style is from his thoughts on up-tempo, pressure defensively, try to make it a possession basketball game where number of possessions, similar to what Coach Williams at North Carolina likes to count possessions. It's something that we keep track of. Possessions and assists are 2 key numbers. From Colorado, moved back to Kansas City to finish school. Got an assistant coaching job at my alma mater, Shawnee Mission North. Spent 6 years there. Was around a bunch of great kids and another really good head coach. Learned a lot from her. Was fortunate enough to land a coaching job out of college at Schlagle. They had a PE position opening, and it was just kind of the right timing. Head coaching job open, and I think things have a way of working out the way they're supposed to. And this is where I was supposed to end up. And kind of the rest is now we're going to figure out what we can do.
Garrett, talk a little bit about last year to this year, maybe some of the differences you see with Coach Western.
From last year, we had our defense was kind of slacking a little bit, and this year with Coach, he's pressuring us more to get the defense going and stuff with pressure, and I just like the turnout this year a little bit better than last year. We have a lot of newcomers coming, so.
Anisha, talk a little bit about, first year at Schlagle, your thoughts so far, first few weeks.
The first game didn't come out how we wanted it to come out, especially coming over with new people, having to work with new people. I think we're going to have an interesting season. We should be solid.
So you're new to the league. Talk a little bit about your game. How would you describe it to anybody?
My game?
I know you like to shoot it a little bit, but, talk a little bit about your game.
My game, playing my role, being the shooter, having open looks, and also helping my teammates out on assist. and getting them open looks also.
So, Coach, one of the big things, I mean, just difference mentality-wise, I mean, be very honest, the KCAL teams struggle once they get outside in the Johnson County and things like that. You seem to think, though, just from your observations, that the talent's there for you to go out and compete in games like that.
And I do. You know, coming from the Sunflower League, which is one of the better leagues in the state, you know, you're seeing a Division I kid or so every single night you're out there. And I believe that the way we match up, I believe that you know, we can compete with a lot of teams in you know, suburban league. Do I think that our battle is going to be how do we gel? I mean, the pieces are here. It's my job to figure out how do we get these kids to play together. How unselfish can we be? Can we buy into not playing 28 minutes a night and being happy? You know, I've got 9 kids, and I tell these kids I have 9 starters, and you know, you're not going to start every single night. Do you buy into that role? Are you able to you know, enjoy playing 12 minutes as hard as you can? And it might not be you know, might have 10 fans in the stands ready to watch you play 28 minutes. It's just not going to happen every night. So are we able to embrace the role, identify our roles, and then, you know, accept these roles and realize that the team is going to be the ultimate factor? Are we able to do that? And I think from a talent standpoint, I'd take this team and put them up against anybody. But, you know, clearly we have to get better. 47 points isn't going to win enough. Isn't going to win many games at all. You know, and that's on me. I'll take the 3-point game. There's got to be 3 points a coach can manufacture. And I think the kids battled, didn't shoot it particularly well, but still gave ourselves an opportunity to win. 1 for 22 from the 3-point line when I looked at it. 8 for 16 from the free throw line, and you're still a shot away from winning a basketball game. So we'll get there. Don't know if it's going to be in 3 games or 13 games, but you know, I think we'll be a team late in the season that you won't want to go against.
So the other day you made note to put this out there, and I thought it was interesting, but I was trying to see, I guess, your mindset in this. So you mentioned the other night you had 4 players who actually went to go scout. You know,
Yeah.
how important, what does that say to you from a coach, I guess, that you had 4 young ladies actually wanting to go out on a school night to scout an opponent?
Yeah, you know, and I kind of wanted to just quietly go out and watch the game myself and not give them too much to look at and think about. But when they found out I was going out there, they said, "Coach, we want to go. We got to go." So it's, you know, it's a good feeling. I mean, to say the least, when you've got kids that are bought in, don't want to take a night off, want to go see the opponent, want to get a look. You know, we had just lost to Barstow, and you know, I got kids asking me, "Can we go over to Washington to watch Highland Park play?" And you know, so it's refreshing, to say the least, when you've got kids that are as committed and as bought into what the big picture is you are as a head coach.
So, Kiera, your second year in the league now, you know, what kind of goals are you setting for yourself, you know, to build off what you did last year?
Well, like what they both were saying, everybody has a role, and my role is just rebounding, going back up, driving, shoot at times. It's just I got to play as me and then help my team out. So by me helping them is going to help us all.
So you got a couple of transfers coming to Shay, right? Skip.
Yeah, there's a couple newcomers. Nisha Owens, and she was actually a KVL player last year. I think she played mostly JV, but she was at Piper, suiting up varsity. So suiting up, sitting on the bench on varsity. And then, yeah, Shay Scales, she's going to be somebody that I think you guys will enjoy watching throughout the year. Got some nice handles, you know, works hard defensively. She is a senior point guard. And then Jade Waldrop, who's a shooting guard. All will be newcomers. And actually, you had 4 because I've got a real special freshman that in a couple of years everybody's going to be talking about. Rihanna Lawson is just an unbelievable player that, you know, I'd probably play her a few more minutes the other night. We were talking about a close win. So she's going to open some eyes. I don't know if it'll be in the first few games, but it'll definitely be soon enough where people are noticing a freshman in the league that I think people will take notice of.
So this is for either the players or both. Coach kind of mentioned earlier, Sumner's kind of been the top dog. Atchison's even been sprinkling in there the last couple of years. You kind of, what are some of your expectations for league?
I'm pretty sure Sumner's probably going to be our best matchup. Like as far as talent-wise, most of us are friends, so it should be a fun, competitive game. We just got to take it slow, be humble, take every possession as careful as we can, and make it worth the possession.
So do you have any bulletin board material you need to put out there? That was a test.
With like Nisha coming in from last year, Sumner was our best matchup, I'll say, because like we started out pretty good, then kind of ended pretty soft, and we just got to come out with a bang this year.
Well, and I'll just say, just from talking a little bit about the Sunflower League talent, I mean, when you look at the talent Sumner has right now, it's right up there. And I know that you say, well, we can't compete with these suburban league schools. I'd say Sumner could compete in the Sunflower League this year. And I'd like to believe that we'll get to that point where I could make that comment honestly about us. And I think middle of the conference schedule, I hope that that's where we're at. But you start to just look from a talent standpoint. There's it's definitely there, at least over at Sumner. I think that one thing she kind of touched on was they all know each other. They all play summer ball. I think 7 out of my top 9 varsity girls all play summer ball. So they know each other, whether it's playing in June or playing last season. They're familiar with each other.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.